We're starting to get attacked by the political establishment because they're saying, oh, well, you shouldn't have a platform as a member of Congress and you should just be really quiet, not really do anything. These are people who obviously don't understand what's going on.
Madison Cawthorn is worried about an opposition campaign against him by the Republican establishment. And guess what? He should be worried about that campaign.
And the party who just wants to be left alone will always lose to the party that's going to go for the throat and fight as hard as they can. And so I do not make any apologies for making sure that we cultivate a following across all platforms, trying to reach out to my generation, who is the most medicated, addicted, the most depressed, the most suicidal generation that's ever lived. And it's because of these radical liberal policies and the indoctrination that goes on inside of our schools. And so I make no apologies for making sure that we have a good platform to get the truth out about conservatism out to these people when they have been indoctrinated with these lies of socialism. And so we're starting to see this coordinated drip campaign. When I say a drip campaign, it's where they're going to drop an attack article every 1 or 2 days just to try and kill us with a death by 1,000 cuts. And that is really their main strategy.
Homeboy's worried. And I think he's actually right about this drip campaign because ever since he accused members of his own party of inviting him to cocaine-fueled sex parties, all of a sudden, right-wing publications like the Washington Examiner are publishing some articles accusing him of insider trading. Drums. I'm gonna give you the details on that in just a moment. But before I do, John, have you noticed the same thing?
The drip campaign?
The drip campaign.
I have noticed it actually, and you're gonna get to a couple of the more recent things. Look, basically he does kind of have a point. The establishment Republicans who might prefer someone who doesn't make them look as stupid. And radical and racist and insane and everything, they subtly plant things to make him look bad. And they've been doing it actually for a while. Like a couple years ago, they put on his Instagram some references to the Fuhrer and how it was a dream to finally go there. They once dragged him into the woods and made him play box against a dead tree, and he looked like a complete doink. And that was the establishment that made him do that. And they followed him around, even before he was in office, at his college, and they generated a reputation amongst many of the women there that he was a sexual predator. And that was Kevin McCarthy and the establishment Republicans. They have been ruining this guy's reputation for years.
I see what you're doing.
It's really underhanded.
I see what you're doing there. Okay, but you got to admit, ever since he got reprimanded from Kevin McCarthy for making these, I don't know, kind of outlandish accusations against members of his own party, the drip has been much drippier, if you know what I mean.
I don't know for sure.
Like it's like a nonstop, like every day. By the way, I didn't know all that stuff about Madison Cawthorn because I was actively ignoring him. Like my team would.
So the establishment Republicans haven't gotten through to you yet. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good. Because there's more.
No,
but it's all on them.
It's
not
hilarious
on him.
because like ever since he got elected, like producers for the main show, like they would pitch stories about Madison Cawthorn. I'm like, I just can't. I can't. Like there's too many of these idiots. Like Madison Cawthorn, I can't take him seriously.
It's one idiot too many.
Yeah. But now I am paying attention because I think there is something to what he's saying. I do think that they're doing Oppo research on him and putting out stories, planting stories with conservative sites like the Washington Examiner.
Sure, my only quick point is,
are you defending the Republican establishment? Is that what's happening?
I guess, in effect. So doing Oppo research could be underhanded or betrayal. The more important question is what they're saying true?
It is true.
Well, then that's really on him at the end of the day.
Let me make this abundantly clear for everyone. I think the Republican establishment is doing this, and I am here for it. It is delicious. Not because I like the Republican establishment, but because let them fight. Let them fight. Why does the online left get to monopolize infighting? Let them fight. Okay, so let's get to the details. So he has been accused of potential insider trading, which as we know, members of Congress don't actually care about. They engage in it all the time, but they will use this as a tool against members of Congress they don't like. So what did the Washington Examiner recently report? On December 29th, the beleaguered North Carolina congressman posed at a party with James Koutulas, a hedge fund manager and the ringleader of the Let's Go Brandon cryptocurrency, so dorky. A meme coin set up in the wake of the chant mocking Biden. LGB legends, tomorrow we go to the moon. Cawthorn, who has stated publicly that he owns cryptocurrency or owns the cryptocurrency, posted on Instagram in response to the picture posted on Kutulis's Instagram page, okay? So he's doing what a lot of cryptocurrency bros do, which is, and a lot of pump and dump schemes look like this, where they get a bunch of celebrities and people to promote the crypto, promote it. And then once it goes up in value, they'll dump it. You know, so looks like that kind of happened here too. So turns out Cawthorn was right, because the next day the value of the Let's Go Brandon crypto skyrocketed. NASCAR driver Brandon Brown announced on December 30th that the meme coin would be the primary sponsor of his 2022 season, causing LGB coins value to spike by 75%. Brown's statement featured comments from Kutulis, who was pictured with Cawthorn just a few hours prior.
That's a crazy coincidence.
What a crazy coincidence.
Crazy coincidence.
How
Small world.
Couldn't have known, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
So multiple watchdog groups are now saying that Cawthorn's December 29th Instagram post suggests that the lawmaker may have advanced non-public information that deals with this cryptocurrency. The watchdogs said that the post, combined with Cawthorn's statement that he owns LGB coin, warrants an investigation from the Department of Justice and the SEC to determine whether the lawmaker violated federal insider trading laws. And guess what? Analysts agree, including the analyst I'm about to read from. This looks really, really bad. By the way, again, this is published in the Washington Examiner, a right-wing publication. This does look like a classic case of you got some insider information and acting on that information, and that's illegal. I think there's probably a strong case here. I don't want to prejudge, but based on everything that's out there, I think there is a very strong possibility that if someone is going to investigate this, they're going to find something. And then there was like a recent scandal where he was like pictured at like a party or something, like wearing women's underwear. Did you see that?
Yeah, it's the thing I care least about, but yeah.
I don't care about that at all, have fun. But for someone who was like, poo-pooing like cocaine-fueled sex parties, it seems like he likes to have a good time.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Well, to be fair, he didn't go to the sex party. He did engage in a digital pump and dump. So everybody's got a kink, I guess.
I guess. Now, immediately following NASCAR driver Brandon Brown's December 30th announcement, the value of, oh wow, would you look at that? LGB coin in circulation hit 570 million. By the end of January though, things changed. The market cap of the meme coin dropped to $0. Kutulis said in a February 20th live stream that two factors led to this precipitous decline. First, NASCAR rejected LGB coin sponsorship deal with Brown on January 4th. And then later that month, unidentified insiders that owned an outsized share of the coin dumped all of their holdings at once. That's a pump and dump scheme, causing the coin's market value to evaporate.
So I would say they should figure out when he sold his, presumably. Unless he's still holding on to it. If he's still holding on to it, then he has a strong case that he wasn't participating in a pump and dump. Or at the least, he was participating in a pump and dump as the dumbest donkey ever because he didn't know to dump. So if he still has it, then he's probably innocent. But if he sold it at the same time as them, that looks pretty suspicious then.
And look, this is why, okay, this is a little bit of a tangent because I want to make a serious point about this story. Well, I've been making serious points, but this is even more serious. Look, this is why it's really important for federal lawmakers to do something to regulate the cryptocurrency issue, because these pump and dump schemes are happening all over the place constantly. And so, look, I don't care about bad actors like losing their money, right? The people who know that there are pump and dump schemes and they think that they're smarter than everyone and they can, take advantage of the situation. There's a bunch of people who are well-meaning and they don't know like what's really going on, and they get caught up in this and they lose everything they have. I feel terrible for those people. The whole purpose of the government, the main role of the government is to protect people. And we need regulations that ensure that people are protected from these types of scams. And right now, I mean, Democrats are asleep at the wheel. You have crypto lobbyists that are literally writing legislation on a state level to protect their interests. It's a disaster. And by the way, one of the individuals who's fighting pretty hard to deregulate or keep crypto deregulated is Madison Cawthorn. Gee, I wonder why. Very weird.
Weird, yeah. Yeah, and by the way, one of the things I love about this is there's a lot of idiocy here. There's one more element of idiocy, but also there's a circle of betrayal. So the establishment Republicans are betraying Madison Cawthorn, whether it's releasing the pictures or the pump and dump or making him batter that already dead tree. They've been screwing him over. But bear in mind, he's also screwing conservatives over. Like if you're a conservative, you're watching this, when they do the Let's Go Brandon pump and dump, when they jack up the price of it, knowing they're gonna dump it because it's fundamentally worthless, they then dump that onto conservatives who are buying it. It's not like lefties are buying Let's Go Brandon coin. It's desperate, trusting conservatives who buy it and then it's worthless. Like, can you imagine a more fundamental betrayal than participating in something like that?
Like, they get scammed so much. I mean, think about how much
constantly scammed.
Constantly by Donald Trump. I mean, how many conservatives ended up getting scammed by those campaign emails asking for donations.
By Steve Bannon for the wall fund?
Exactly.
They just rob you constantly. Why aren't you more bothered by it?
I know, it is pretty amazing. Because they've been convinced that the people who do rob them more is like the Democratic Party, which is like it. The problem is the Democratic Party does not effectively like counter what Republicans are doing, and that's the thing that frustrates me about them. Because while you look at what they do policy-wise or what their leadership looks like, yeah, I mean, especially with rhetoric, Democrats are better, but they're in a position of power right now. Do something, and they don't.
Do anything.
And that it's infuriating. It's absolutely infuriating. All right, we've